Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan. Today I'm very excited because I get to try something that lately has been getting some incredibly rave reviews. Like people are talking, they're talking like it's a BTAC killer. That's one of the things it's been called. They're saying it's one of the things that can take down some of the most legendary Kentucky bourbons out there. So what I decided to do, I have never had this before. It's the A. Smith Bowman Cask Strength 9-year. Comes in like 135.1 proof. And people are going crazy about this bottle. Now, I've never tried it, so I cannot pick it out of a blind by just recognizing the profile because I've never had it. So what I decided to do is instead of just tasting it and reviewing it up front, what I would do instead is I put it in a lineup. I had my wife pour a blind. I said, put it in a blind with other high-proof Kentucky bourbons. So I don't know where it is here, and I don't know what other high-proof Kentucky bourbons are represented here. I just told her what I kind of hoped was that we'd have a nice variety between the several different distilleries and proof points, but that they would all fall under that same kind of umbrella. So I know that the competition is probably steep here, and we'll see where it falls. So I'm just going to go right down the line, A through D, A, B, C, D. Yes, that's 4. And I will just blind rank them, and we'll see where the A. Smith Bowman falls in that lineup. Sound good? Let's dive right in with the first one. Glass A. Holy cow, man. I think this is going to be a tough competition because this already smells incredible. It really does smell incredible. First thing I got was like sweet tobacco notes, you know, like loose tobacco leaf, a little bit of like leather. And I want to say there's like even like a cherry pie filling kind of a note going on in the nose too, where it's sweet, kind of that gooiness going on as well. I can smell this all day. I mean, I want this as a body wash. I want it as like a Dr. Squatch soap that can, you know what I mean, in the shower in the morning. You never get me out of there. I should be basking in it. It's getting weird and off the rails, so let's taste it. Cheers. I don't know what that is, but that's freaking delicious. And it drinks hot. I mean, I said I wanted high proof. This drinks like 130 plus proof. Before I go into a second sip here, I do want to just kind of look at the viscosity. It's fairly viscous. That's incredible. Oof. We are coming out real strong. It brings the heat, but it definitely brings the sweet. Those tobacco notes coming along very nicely. They're not right up front. I get more of like a confectionery sweetness right up front. Boom. And then that's where the tobacco leaf and the leather comes in. But what I'm riding on in the finish is that sweet cherry note. And it's not super fruity. It's just kind of there, right? A little subtle and a ton of oak. Big wave of spicy oak at the end too. And that draws out very long into the finish. Like I say, whatever that is a phenomenal pour. That's fan-freaking-tastic. I don't know if that's the Bowman or not, but whatever it is freaking good. Let's try the second one. Glass B. Okay. This one has a ton more oak on the nose. A little brown sugar. It almost makes me think of like a cream cheese Danish with a little bit of like a raspberry. You know, you ever have like a raspberry cream cheese Danish? A little flaky, a little savory, but then also sweet and fruity. Man, nose of this is really, really nice. It's not as forward as the first one was. It's not quite in your face, doesn't punch you in the nose, but this is super lovely. Like, it just, on the nose, all I can think of is like just a toasted oak stave with a cream cheese Danish, raspberry cream cheese Danish sitting on top of it. That's what this smells like to me. And that's a really appealing nose to me. Let's try it. Cheers. Are you kidding me right now? I'm getting spoiled today. That's incredible. I'm getting a lot of what I was getting on the nose, I'm getting on the palate. But there's another component here that's making me think of like anise, a little bit of a black licorice note, which on its own I don't care for, but you wrap it up in some brown sugar, toasted oak, and that raspberry cream cheese Danish. Alongside those things, it sings. And I really like that anise component right there. Jeez, man. This is going to be really, really hard. Because these first two pours are freaking dynamite. The more that just sits there, like I was about to move on to C, but the more it just sits there on my palate, the more it makes me think of like a cognac finished product. You know, a little funky, a little bit of like a warehouse funk thing going on to it, which I really like. But let's go ahead and progress to glass C. The nose is definitely sweet. but it makes me think of like cherry cola, right? Like cherry Coke. But if you did cherry Coke as a float with a scoop of ice cream in it. Have you ever done a cherry Coke float? Because I haven't, but this on the nose is making me wish that I had tried it before because it was pretty nice. A little creamy, some rich vanilla and cherry in there, and that cola note. Pretty appealing nose. Let's dive into it. Cheers. Ooh. I think I get that like creamy vanilla up front on it, but then I don't really get that cherry cola note, at least on first sip. It's more like I'm getting a lot of licorice. And like you ever have like a honey bun? You ever have a honey bun at the gas station? You wanted something else, they didn't have it, and you're like, I guess I'll have a honey bun, right? You kind of settled for it. I don't know too many people that go out of their way saying, man, I'm really craving a honey bun. But if it's there, you'll have it. This reminds me of a honey bun on the tail end of the palate and then kind of going into the finish. A little bit of that honey and that yeasty quality as well. But it does drink fairly hot. There's a ton of oak on it too. I really like it. I'm just not sure if I like it as much as the previous two. But let's go ahead and move on to the final one. Interesting combination on the nose here. It's giving me peanuts and lemongrass. Is that weird? Peanuts and lemongrass. I already want to say a distillery just on the nose alone, but let's go in on it and try it first. Cheers. Yeah, that tastes like beam distillate. I think it's high proof, but lower proof than the others. At least it's drinking like that. Yep. So the palate gives me almost like peanut brittle. That lemongrass note comes into the mid palate and extends a little bit into the finish, which is mostly a fair amount of some like funky oak, which I do appreciate, which makes me think, and I'm gonna try and like not think about this when I rank these, because that's not what the point of this is, but it makes me think Booker's. But I don't want to just say, oh, this is this, you know what I mean? Because this kind of ruins the point of this blind. So I'm gonna try and like distance myself mentally from the fact that I think that's a Booker's, and instead I'm just going to try and rank these based on my preference today. Sound good? And to be fair, I do like Booker's. I mean, obviously I've got a bunch of Booker's, so not all of them obviously hit. Some of them hit, some of them miss. I usually wait until I hear a review before I go hunting down a bottle. But anyways, neither here nor there. I don't know where the A. Smith Bowman is because, like I said, I've never had it before. But I'm going to go ahead and give you my ranking, starting with 4th place, and we'll go from there. Sound good? But before I do, I'm going to revisit these and give them one quick sip before I finalize my decision. Sound good? It was really tough for me because my top 3 are really close. I think my 4th place, I'm going to push this one out. Okay? So Glass D is going to be my 4th place. But this is the hard part because, honestly, A, B, and C are pretty close to each other in my rankings. I do think 3rd place is going to have to go to Glass C. Okay, so 4th, 3rd. These are my top 2, even on revisiting them. I think my 2nd place is going to be Glass A. We'll slide that one forward into 2nd place, which means Glass B is going to take the cake. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Okay? Yeah. So, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Let's reveal what they've been. Obviously, you will have known what these have been because I would have put it on the screen for you. But I don't know. So I'm going to find out right now. Sound good? My last place, I said, was it tastes like beam distillate. I'm guessing a Booker's. It's exactly what it is. Actually, this is a 2023-04. I actually really liked that batch. But I think I'm consistent there because I think I gave that one a lemongrass note the first time I tasted it. But that was like, obviously, well over a year ago. Anyways, moving on. My 3rd place. Really? This took 3rd? No shot. Elijah Craig, Barrel Proof C923. Elijah Craig, Barrel Proof C923. That's a killer bottle, by the way. Well, so here's what we know at this point so far. The A. Smith Bowman's in either 1st or 2nd place. That's pretty cool. Especially since I've never tried it before, so I didn't know what to look for. But it's already beat in a blind, at least for tonight, what I'm digging. It already beat C923. Let's find out what 2nd place is. 2nd place is no shot. Stag 23B. That means right. This will be 1st place. No way, dude. Yeah, A. Smith Bowman right there. There it is. wild. It took first place against Stag, C923, and a Booker's. That's pretty impressive. Okay, so what were the notes we gave on that? That was B. We said cream cheese, like a raspberry cream cheese Danish, and tons of oak. Yeah. And we said hints of that licorice, that anise. Dude, that's straight fire. Are you kidding me? That's dynamite. Now, the A. Smith Bowman, I should say, like I said, I did mention it's 135.1 proof, 9 years old. MSRP is $100. I've seen it going for like a lot more than that on the secondary, so beware those secondary prices. I think the only people I know that have this got it through a lottery, at least the guys I've talked to about how they got it. So you might just have to get lucky. I think this is probably going to not be super obtainable. It might be something you have to kind of hunt for. But I can tell you this, in a blind, friggin' dynamite, crushed some seriously stiff competition. I am impressed by this bottle. I think it's going to be something that people are really going to be searching for this year. Highly coveted. Phenomenal. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Randy, who sent in the sample of that. Appreciate you, brother. You're super generous, as always. Hey, with that, let me find the vial. With that, I say cheers, my friends. May you live richly and get better with age, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.